Welcome to another edition of Biro Sports Talk. I'm your host, Biro, and as always, I like to start the show off by getting some videos shared and, simple things like that. So that's why we're a little behind. But hey, like I said, we are there. We are ready to go. So, let's start with the obvious. Tomorrow is the beginning of the round of 64. But before we begin with that, we're on Twitter, we are on YouTube, we are on Facebook, and we're on Twitch. If you're watching on any of these, hey, thank you for watching. Doesn't matter if it's live, doesn't matter if it's after. Contrary to what the image is showing right behind me, it's still gloomy outside here in Ohio. Rain and snow mix. I would say love it, but no. Just now. Excuse me. All right. As always, I am your host, Biro. Let's begin with the NFL. So we're going to save college just because, that's going to be the talk of the town for a while. So we're going to start with some interesting signings. So starting with the Jets, you got Carl Lawson, Corey Davis, two very good pieces joining your team. All the talk of the town right now, Andy Dalton going to the Bears. We'll cover that here in a second. And of course, Mitchell Trubisky going to the Bills. But let's touch base with Andy Dalton here for the Bears. My biggest concern is that they did this a year too late. So last year, I thought Andy Dalton would have been a great pickup. A great person to challenge Mitch and see where it goes. They went with Nick Foles. Nick Foles was nothing special, obviously. Mitchell was okay. Again, he's okay. And now we let him walk. And we got Andy Dalton after speculation, big splash. I'm sorry to tell you, Andy Dalton's not a big splash this year. If this was last year, I tell you what, this probably I would be raving about a little bit. It's great pickup. He's decent enough to challenge stat-wise Mitchell Trubisky. But I just don't see it this year. Again, stats with the Bengals is still better than most Bears quarterbacks. Last year played with the Cowboys. He was 14 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Not very good. But Andy Dalton is now pretty much your starting quarterback for the Bears. The Bears are still considered to draft someone, still considered to be playing for something. Basically, we'll see. Like the Chiefs, though, the Chiefs are building an offensive line. They got Kyle Long, who came out of retirement. He'll be a very good guard. Joe Thuney, also going to the Chiefs. Just making them better, of course. It's kind of what they needed. They needed very solid offensive line to protect Patrick Mahomes. This Super Bowl, they lost their tackles, and it was game over, bro. So Patrick Peterson's going to the Vikings. The one signing I was actually super surprised about was Kenyon Drake going to the Raiders. The Raiders, I'm surprised he went to the Raiders. Josh Jacobs is pretty good. And Drake's just another solid piece that's going to be a backup to him. Oh, yes, and if you haven't noticed, got the ears lowered, lost some of that hair. It feels nice now that the weather's was warming up. So we'll see how that plays out as well. Jameis Winston, of course, staying with the Saints, I believe. I actually can't remember if he did sign or not. I thought he did. Where is he? Right there. Jameis Winston. Yep, he agreed to a 1-year deal. I like it. It'll be interesting to see if him or Taysom gets the starting job. Drew Brees retiring. Hey, he's a great quarterback. Let's be honest. He was a very, very good quarterback. He probably should have went to more Super Bowls, but just bad luck, bad calls, a number of things prevented him from getting there. A lot of us honestly think Drew Brees probably could have continued another year. Sometimes it's just time to hang it up. We do wish the best for Drew Brees. But let's move on. Like I said, Jameis Winston was signed to a 1-year deal. Now, this Buffalo Bills signing for Trubisky, they said Trubisky provides insurance at quarterback. He's got a 1-year deal with the Bills. It's pretty much Trubisky gets to reset himself with the Bills. He's in a situation where he can grow as a quarterback and get better. If anything was to happen to Josh Allen, Trubisky is probably a starter on some of the lower tier teams currently. So there's really no risk to signing Trubisky. The thing is, he should be better than any of the backups that are out there. So not bad. Emanuel Sanders reached a deal with the Bills, another offensive weapon, former Broncos superstar receiver, played for the Saints. I mean, he's getting up there in age. He's 34. But hopefully he's going to be a good receiver for them as the third or fourth option. A lot of good pieces being signed, of course, for the NFL. Let's switch it into high gear. We're going to crank it up to 11. We are going to be naming our first team into the field of 64. Welcome Texas Southern beating out Mount St. Mary's in the first 4. Pretty sure. Yep. Texas Southern, you got Michigan. Good luck. Michigan's probably going to beat you. Sorry, but it's true. I mean, now playing in a city near you. Now playing, you got Drake versus Wichita State. Wichita State's up 21-11 right now. That's huge. If you haven't already, though, and you're looking for a home for brackets, Biro Sports Talk has their own brackets for ESPN. Now, here's the thing. The goal, of course, As for ESPN, I'd like to get more people, of course. You liked more people, of course. Currently, what we're seeing, I don't know why it's making me look at old seasons, but currently we are at a very small number. About probably 5 total people, 6 brackets because I threw 2 in. If you haven't joined, you should definitely join. If you are watching this for the first time ever, of course, we are on Twitter, we are on YouTube, we're on Facebook, we're on Twitch. We're also on Instagram, but most of it comes through the Facebook page, of course, right now. So, let me know. Reach out. Do what you can. We'll talk sports. That's what we do. So, predictions so far for this NCAA tournament. So, I filled out my brackets, of course, because that's what I do, and I care about my teams, of course, So, Duke's not in it. Not surprised by how bad they played. Excuse me. But I have to say, I'm riding high with everyone saying Ohio has the talent. I think Ohio has the talent to upset Virginia, to move on past who I have into the Sweet 16. Do not see them going further, though. Gonzaga's a team that's going to be hard to beat. Oh, excuse me. But I do have 3 Big Ten teams just because how well I think they will play. Michigan, probably the most likely to be upset out of the 3, in my opinion, but we'll see. Well, let's talk upsets. So some upsets I like currently, and I'll go looking for actual upsets. Winthrop over Villanova's one. Utah State over Texas Tech is one I like to see. In this one bracket, I did pick Liberty to do well. However, I'm going to switch who I had on part of it. Hey, it's the last day to change it, so that's okay. I mean, the biggest, another upset, because you always have some first round, or some of the first 4 win. I got Michigan State / UCLA beating BYU. Got Georgetown moving on, riding high. And, I already talked about Ohio. Good old Ohio. I didn't like this year's bracket. So, let me start off by saying this year, it felt predictable who's going to be in the Elite 8. I have a few who are not expected in the Sweet 16, but Elite 8 felt very, very predictable. Even with, it's a year where I was a little disappointed. I do think it's going to be a lot of, there's just going to be a lot of predictability, I think. Even though March is known for its unpredictable nature. It wasn't saved. I have to resubmit, man. There we go. But I'm telling you, if you haven't already, you should definitely join the Biro Sports Talk bracket. I was going to say, not much to talk about on the other hand, We can dive into the NBA. NBA's back. trade deadline's right around the corner. We're starting to see like PJ Tucker get traded, and a lot of others starting to get traded, like Trevor Ariza for a record 11th time. But right now in your East, you got 76ers, you got the Nets, both tied at 28 and 13. The Bucks are 26 and 14. PJ Tucker just joining the Bucks. The Heat are 4th at 22 and 19. Hornets are 20 and 19. Hawks, Celtics, 2020. Knicks, just Knicks are 2021. Bulls are 18 and 21. And then right on the outskirts there, you got Pacers, Raptors. Cavs, Wizards, Magic, Pistons. Raptors almost joining that group on the outskirts. On your Western Division, though. Oh, excuse me. You got the Utah Jazz on the West, leading the West 29-10. Suns 26 and 12. Lakers 27 and 13. Clippers 26-16. Nuggets 24-16. Trailblazers 23-16. Spurs 21-16. Mavericks 21-18. Warriors 21-20. Grizzlies 18-19. I mean, technically the Thunder and Pelicans are right there at 17-23, quote unquote. Not really. And then you got the Kings, who are just right there too. And then Rockets and Timberwolves are definitely out. Definitely out. Rockets have lost 18 in a row, which is just not great. So there you have it. That's your NBA update. Like I said, trade deadline. There's going to be a lot of movement, some say. You could see guys like Andre Drummond, LaMarcus Aldridge, and Kyle Lowry probably moving teams. We did see Blake Griffin join the Nets as well. So DJ Augustine, DJ Wilson are also going back to the Rockets. And apparently Torrey Craig is going to the Suns. Excuse me. Ooh, sorry. The Thunder did do a trade with that Trevor Ariza trade where they got Miles Leonard. Leonard is not expected to be a part of the Thunder moving forward. Wow. Thunder did move Hamido Dalio to the Pistons. Looking, PJ Tucker, we said got traded. But LaMarcus Aldridge also got released. JJ Redick's been in talks. There's a number of players whose names have been there. Sorry to cut this short, but it is March after all, and I am curious to watch this Drake Wichita State game, not gonna lie. It looks like Drake came back. It's halftime. It's 21-20. But, as I said, we'll cut this short. Once more, just because Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Instagram, pointing with my hand. Why not? And let's not forget, join the bracket challenge. Doesn't cost a thing, not throwing money at it. Just going to see who's best at picking brackets. Will my wife, who picks dogs and animals, win? Usually does. Will I make some brackets for my animals? Who knows? Probably. But, like I said, thank you. If you tune in late, that's fine. If you are watching live, I thank you. As always, See you next time on Biro Sports Talk.